Okay friends, so Halloween's almost over, Thanksgiving's right around the corner, we're still in that fall season, and so I wanted to share a couple of my favorite fall themed music activities that you can do in the classroom. Some of these you can do at other times of year. There are other activities, other like versions of this for other years. Some of these, they really make sense just to do during the holiday season. 2 might be more Thanksgiving themed than anything else, but I'm going to share 5 of my favorite fall themed activities for you that I use in the elementary music room. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. For those who don't know me, my name is Rainey Barton, and I'm an elementary music teacher and a middle school musical theater teacher in Central Florida. I've been teaching for 7 years. This is my 7th year this is my first year though at a brand new school. And I created this channel in order to help other music teachers find or instill a love and appreciation of music in the heart of every child. So if that's something that you're interested in, then I will be sharing tips, tricks, lesson plans, strategies, all of those things on this channel every single week. So definitely stick around for that. Like, subscribe, share, you know the drill. But we're just gonna get started on the 5 fall activities that I love using in my classroom that are tried and true. This first one I actually got from my friend Mariah Holmes at Homeless Music Classroom. I believe Holmes Music Classroom. She's fabulous. I get so many ideas from her. And so this one is on her page. So there's a song called Pick a Pumpkin, and I use that all during Halloween. And that song I didn't get from her specifically. I've known that song, but her kids and her came up with a version called Pick a Turkey. And so you can use this for Halloween or for Thanksgiving. And so I'll say both words, but I'll do the turkey one. That one goes like this. And it's good for tigga tigga or 16th notes. It goes like this. Pick a turkey from the pan. You can make a feast and we'll eat again. Pick a turkey fat and clean. Soon you'll be ready for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving. Soon you'll be ready for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving. Soon you'll be ready for Thanksgiving. And if you're using it for Halloween, the only part that changes is it says, pick a pumpkin round and fat. You can carve a face as something just like that. Pick a pumpkin round and clean. Soon you'll be ready for Halloween. And it's the same exact thing. And so you can change it to whatever words you want to use. But all it is it's a game where you have basically a giant cake ball and the students are bouncing it in the circle, like passing it on the beat though. Like it has to be on the beat. So it's like, pick a turkey round and flat. You can, oh my gosh, I can't remember the words right now. Pick a turkey nice and in the pan. You can make a feast and we'll eat again. And so they're going back and forth, back and forth. And if you mess up the beat at all, or the ball rolls away from you or things, you're out, but you're mainly out if you land on the last. Soon you'll be ready for Thanksgiving. And then when it comes to 2 people at the end, what she does is she has 2 different colored cake balls and they decide which cake ball is going to be the one that is out. And so if you have that specific color on the word Thanksgiving, then you're out. And the kids really love this game. It's really good for reviewing steady beat with your older kids because you would think that they all like know how to do that and they don't. They don't, I've surprisingly learned. So that one is a super fun one. I will try and link to that Instagram post where I learned about it and also the blog post where I initially learned about that song. And I'll link both of those underneath that video. But pick a pumpkin / pick a turkey, perfect game for the fall season. Now let's talk about my favorite fall game of all time. And I've never tried it here, and I don't even know if my school has what I need to make it work. My old school did. But that is called Turkey Trot Rhythm Races. I use it on Halloween. I use candy corn rhythm races at Christmas. I use reindeer rhythm races. It's the best game. So all you need is, I bought this from Lindsay Jervis's classroom. I will link the product down below. But it's these little turkey cards. There's 6 teams. Each turkey's a different color. And they have like 12 to 15 different rhythms. And you can decide which rhythms you're focusing on. So this could be used for any grade level. Although I would probably recommend using this with like 4th and 5th because they're going to be on those little seat scooters. You know, the ones that like are a square and you roll on them. If you've never seen them, I'll try and post a video up here or picture. But what you do is you pick however many teams you're going to have, and then they get in lines, and one person is sitting on the scooter. At the other end of the classroom is the little like field of turkeys. And so they have, if they're the orange team, it's their field of orange turkeys. Next to them is red, all their red turkeys, purple, all the purple turkeys. And you clap or say the pattern for them, and then they roll over there and scoot over there, and they have to find the correct rhythm, and then they scoot back as quick as they can. And if they're the first team to get there, they get 2 points if it's right. If they get there after that, it's 1 point. If they get it wrong, obviously they don't get any points. But my rules are their butt must be on the scooter. I don't care if they roll facing backwards. I don't care if they roll facing forward, but we're not doing stomach. We're not standing on it. We're not doing anything like that. We want to be safe and promote safety on these scooters because some of these kids fly so fast that they fall right off, and you're really not going to hurt yourself if you're sitting on your butt doing it. And so that's how we do this game. My kids at my old school have loved this game. Every time they saw the scooters, they were like, we're playing rhythm races! And they got so beyond excited. And so it's really fun. And it's a really great assessment tool as well because you can easily tell which kids don't know how to read rhythms at all because they never bring back the right rhythm, like ever. And so that's really good to identify as well. I'm gonna have to see if my school can do this because like, it's so weird. I'm like at a private Christian school and they have like a lot of things, but then they don't have things. Like when I asked to borrow tennis balls the other day, they only had 6 tennis balls. And I was like, oh no, I need a class set. And so I don't know if they're actually gonna have scooters or not. I'm gonna have to check in with that. But my kids love that game and it's definitely a hit. So like I said, I will link it underneath so that you can do it with your students because it's fabulous. Okay, so let's talk about one that you can use for solfege or melody or whatever you like to call it with your students. You can use this once again with every grade level because I've created it for every grade level. It's just called, I can't even remember what I called it. It's like just a melody pattern game. So basically it's Thanksgiving themed, although I have other versions and you can do whatever. I'll link this product underneath. But all it is the students, it'll be, you can have it on a reduced staff or a full staff, but there'll be a pattern. So let's just pretend we're doing sol mi la with my students. And it'll have some sort of sol mi la pattern. So maybe it says sol la mi mi. And the kids have to read it and figure out what it is. And then there will be 3 characters, like a turkey, a leaf, and like a farmer. And they have to figure out which of the characters has the correct pattern over the top of their heads. And then they click on it. And when they do, if they get it right, then the turkey shows up and says, yay, you got it right, go on to the next rhythm. If they get it wrong, then my little friend the crow comes up and says, oh no, you didn't get it, go back and try again. And it's just a really simple way of practicing like solfege patterns with your class. You could do this in whole group as a group. You could also put this in centers, and it's a really great way for them to assess themselves in centers. And so you could give it to them and they could do it as their own grade so that they can see, you know, how well they did and like what they're messing up on and all sorts of things. And so I will definitely link that underneath as well, but that's a great activity that you can use not only in fall, but you could use that in other seasons depending. But definitely try incorporating some solfege and melodic patterns into your classroom. The next one is for the fall season, but it's kind of more Thanksgiving-y, but like Thanksgiving's coming up. Don't worry, I'm still gonna have a Thanksgiving video, and I shared a bunch of Thanksgiving lessons from last year, so you can definitely check that out because it's almost November. But this one is called 10 Fat Turkeys. And so there's a book called 10 Fat Turkeys. I would definitely recommend checking it out. It's just one of those like cumulative add-on books that's like, oh, here's 10 turkeys. And they were doing something crazy. And then something happened and then there was 9 turkeys and then 8 and then 7. Like, you know the typical story. And so then I found this song a couple of years ago on the YouTube. I don't know where it is, but it basically goes, the turkey is a funny bird. His head goes wobble, wobble. And all he says is just one word, gobble, gobble, gobble. And so when I'm typically introducing this song, I will wear my turkey hat. I have a hat with a turkey on it. I wore it a couple of days ago for Spirit Week. You might have seen it over on Instagram. I would go get it right now, but I'm pretty sure it's in my car because I forgot to take it back into my classroom. Anyway, I'll normally wear that and it'll go, his head goes wobble, wobble, and then I go gobble, 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 and they think that's hilarious. And so we just sing that song every time they introduce a new turkey or every time we turn the page, we sing that song. And then once they get really good at it, we can add instruments, and this is for K1. And so I might use unpitched instruments, like maybe one group has like maracas for wobble, and for gobble they have tambourines. So they would be going, his head goes wobble, wobble, and all he says, gobble, gobble, gobble. And then if you want to take it even a level further, you could add barred instruments because you only need one note. So it could be like C, like his head goes wobble, wobble, gobble, gobble, gobble. So it's really up to you what level you want to do it with. And then I have a game that I do with my kids as well. It's like a musical chairs type vibe where I have these turkey gobblers, which I might actually have them, so please hold. Found the turkey gobblers. They're giant. They were supposed to be half the size of this, but they go like this. And they sound like turkeys. So anyway, one of the kids will be walking around the circle while everyone else has their hands behind their back, and he'll be going, his head goes wobble, wobble, and all he says is just one word, gobble, gobble, gobble. And then he'll put one of the turkey gobblers in one of the kids' hands because their hands are like this. And if he puts it in your hand, then the kid gets up and he has to chase him around the circle back to his spot. So that part is like musical chairs. My kids love this game. It's always a hit. They love shaking these things. It really scares them the first time I do it because like you actually use these to catch turkeys. But it's pretty hysterical. So I'll try and link where I bought those underneath. I have a product for this 10 fat turkeys one. So if you're interested in that, I will link that underneath this video as well, but it's always a hit. And this last one I wouldn't call specifically like fall themed, but like candy, like I don't know. I feel like that's like a fall type of thing between like Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas. So like we'll just call it a day. Is my Charlie and the Chocolate Factory inspired virtual music field trip. This is for grades 1 and 2, I believe. And so in this, you get to go to the chocolate factory. And so I have a map on the first page and you get to go into the different rooms, like the room of the incinerator. You get to go into the room where Violet blows up like a blueberry. You get to go into the nut room. I think it's the second version with the squirrels. But each room there's different activities. For example, in one, there's like where you're listening to music and you have to identify whether it's fast or slow. There's another one where you're listening to 2 versions of Pure Imagination, like the actual version, and then this like cool Renegade version that I believe Fiona Apple did, and you have to compare and contrast the 2. There's another one where you're practicing solfege patterns, another one where you're doing an instrument routine, another one where you're doing a movement routine, and all these different things. And it's just a fun way to like explore inside the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and I think it's really fun. I had fun making it and my kids had fun doing it, and you could definitely put it over 1 to 2 class periods because there's like 7 or 8 different activities, including some videos like I said, there's an instrument one, a movement one, I believe there's a rhythm one, and you might not want to do all of that in one class setting. So that definitely could be something to look into as well. I will definitely link that underneath here as well. It's one of my favorite activities to do with my kids. It took forever to make, and I'm really glad that it's over. But yeah, so that's another fun thing that you could do. Virtual music field trips in general. Like my friend Jess from Music and Motivate makes some really awesome music field trips. She actually just made a Halloween one, and I couldn't buy it because we don't celebrate Halloween at school, and I shed a little tear for that because I love celebrating Halloween. But it's okay, we'll survive. I made it through. I did a couple songs about pumpkins and that was as best as I could get. But anyway, yeah, so definitely check out virtual music field trips. Those are also definitely another way to go, and they're really helpful just because they touch base on more than one concept, and so you're able to easily do that sort of stuff and implement different concepts into your classroom. That's basically it. That is the 5 fall activities that I like to do in my music room. I hope some of them were new, that you hadn't heard before, that they're interested in trying out with your kids. Anything that I linked and shared, I will put in the video description underneath here. So like any blog posts, any products, any of that stuff, I will link down below so that you can have it to use for later. I would love to know what your favorite fall themed activity is. If you want to drop that in the comments below, I would love to just get some new ideas for my class for this year or even for next year. But I hope this video was helpful, and so if it was, make sure that if you're not already subscribed, you subscribe, you like, share, all of those things. We're trying to get to 500 so I can have that community tab and I can really start sharing like and asking you guys what types of videos you guys want. I mean, you're always welcome to comment down below, but I feel like that community feature will just help us in that way even more. All right, well, I love all of you, and I'm gonna get to work. Bye guys.